part of such a prestigious event and share with you my experiences as an SME entrepreneur. मंजिलें उन्हीं को मिलती है, मंजिलें उन्हीं को मिलती है जिनके सपनों में जान होती है। पंख से कुछ नहीं होता दोस्तों, पंख से कुछ नहीं होता दोस्तों, सिर्फ हौसलों से उड़ान होती है। I think every single entrepreneur here would identify with this quote. Entrepreneurship is all about passion, faith and belief. We at Ken Enterprises, we are a textile SME based in Ichalkaranji, a small town near Kolhapur. After completing my textile engineering from Ichalkaranji, I took up a cushy job in project consulting in Mumbai. I was there learning the ropes, quite impressed by big businesses, how they work, in awe of them and inspired by them. Then about a year down the line, I got a call from a friend of mine in Ichalkaranji telling me, यार निकुंज, सुनने में आया कि तुम लोग काफ़ी फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम में से चल रहे हो. Now being the traditional Marwadi family that we were, we never discussed financial matters at home and leave alone the financial challenges that we were facing. It was a jolt out of the blue for me. I spoke to my father, but being the eternal optimist that he was, he encouraged me to continue with the work in Bombay. He did not want me to come back. But I always felt I had this bug of entrepreneurship in me, which I inherited from my late father, Shri Hari Prasad ji Bagdia, who himself was a visionary and quite ahead of his times. I felt the challenges back home were the right opportunity. It was the perfect time for me to test my entrepreneurship skills, and I got back to Ichalkaranji. And then what did I get? I saw Murphy's Law in full action. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And it had actually gone wrong. I mean, it was typical of a traditional family-run MSME. Inadequate finance, inefficient technology, outdated plants, underutilized capacities, and interest cost as high as 36%. And I mean, the list goes on and on. And we realized we had very few options and very little time for survival. And then one night in my office, late in the night, I sat down with one of our key team members. We took a blank piece of paper, folded into half. On the upper portion, we wrote down the options available to us and the actions needed to make it survive. On the lower half, we wrote down the consequences of not doing anything, consequences of maintaining status quo. It was a scary paper. We looked at it for 5 minutes. We tore down the lower half, threw it into the dustbin, looked at the remaining paper, and we told ourselves, this is the only option available to us, and that is to work hard, to strive hard, to survive and to thrive. That was way back in 2001. We were doing less than 1 crore in annual business. It is 2013 right now. We are doing about 60 crores, growing rapidly, and I think we will touch 100 crores very shortly. And we feel this is just the beginning. Over the years, there have been many difficult and frustrating times where we thought we had hit the dead end. I mean, typical problems like spending 40% of your time in the banks trying to convince them that it works, trying to get the cost of finance to come down, telling them that 100% collateral is not everything, and so on and so forth, skill issues, attrition issues. But I think it was only our passion and only our belief in the business which kept us going. And that is when in these times we realized the true meaning of the word faith. And faith to us meant taking that first step even when you cannot see the whole path. That night we had kept the faith, we had taken the first step, and things moved. And there are basically the two major issues that we face. I think one is internal and that is HR related. For a SME to grow, the first hurdle is talent, HR. We are not very small where we can handle all the affairs individually. And neither are we very big where we can attract outside talent. Also, outside talent comes with its own price, own cost, and then they are not attuned to the issues that we face at SME. So we were working around it by developing, by nurturing our in-house and local talent and building a common DNA of passion and leadership across the team. Then comes one of the biggest hurdles, and I think that is the availability of adequate and low-cost finance. Sir, I believe that still remains a challenge. But fortunately, we have struggled with it for quite some time. But fortunately for us, Canara Bank came into the picture recently, and they have helped us grow. And here, sir, I would specifically cite one instance how it helps. We were working with two financial institutions, and it took us about 2 years to get a financial closure, which we still did not get. We kept on going back and forth, and both the institutions had to undergo internal reorganizations in those 2 years. And our proposal never got closed. And we thought we had always, we were very, very close. And then finally, somehow, very, very disappointed, we managed to have a chance meeting at Canara Bank, Pune. Challenges are many, but then so are the opportunities. External challenges remain the same for all of us. I think it is the internal organizational strength and the passion of the team that makes the difference. Success today is not determined by the size of the organization. Success today is determined by the speed of the organization. And we as SMEs have the biggest weapon in being speedy, in having speed on our side, being agile, being innovative. We in India, and especially I think in Pune, we have taught the world all about frugal engineering. There is no reason why we cannot create world-class enterprises here. Friends, let us not only build scale, let us build skill across the organization. Let us work together, share our knowledge, and utilize forums like these to create world-class SMEs right here. And finally, I'd like to conclude by quoting one of the greatest entrepreneurs of our times, Shri Dhirubhai Ambani. He said, "Our dreams have to be bigger, our ambitions higher,